everybody, welcome to the channel, welcome to Eclectric Reviews. Yes, I'm back on the review train, car, run, thing, whatever. Yes, I'm reviewing stuff again. I've reviewed a few things. I'm going to do it a lot more often, I think, because, you know, just sitting and listening to individual songs is just not enough. I need to listen to whole albums. And then review them and let you guys know what I think, and then one or two you go like, eh. And that's the whole idea. So on this one, it's that little no band Fireproven. The album Future Diary came out in March of this year, 2018. And I have my handy notes here because I have done reviews off the cuff, and then when I've done them, edited them, thrown up there, I went, why didn't I mention that? Why didn't I mention this? Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I do this? Because, you know, memory. I could give you my emotional response, pure and simple, but then I'd forget some of the nuances and forget some of the other songs and things like that. So I've got my little list, what I've done, basically structured this in a way that I'm going to go through each song a little bit, not massively. I'm not going to go wax lyrical or decry things for half a damn hour. Hopefully this will be a little longer than the last video I put out about reactions. That went on a bit long. Maybe a couple of people watched that all the way through. Doubt it. Hopefully you did. Because, you know, hey, why not? I watch those sort of things because I'm a bit sad. But that's just me. But anyway, back to Fireproven and Future Diary. This is available on Bandcamp. It's available, it's €10, I think, €10, £10 or €10, depending what website I look, you know, from where I looked at it. For the whole thing, there's 10 tracks, so you can actually buy each track separately for a single euro if you want. You can pay more, but a single euro, and some of these songs were far more than that. Some of them, a single euro is fine. But for me personally, I usually buy whole albums. It's just a pity there's not a physical copy. Physical copy. That's what I live for, to hold a record in my hand. But anyway, where are we going to start? We're going to start with Shine. Shine was one of the reactions I've done. I've done 2 reaction videos for Fireproven. 3 songs. One was The Tower, which was the first one I listened to, and the other one then was Shine and Shame, both from the same video. Links are at the end of this video, so you can just click on them at the end of this if you go like, alright, I want to listen to what this guy's on about. Or you can just go to the links below in the description. I will remember to put the links in, because I keep forgetting for other things. And people don't remind me. I've reminded myself sometimes and gone like, oh, I should have put the link in. Nobody said anything. Wake up. Anyway, Shine. When I first heard Shine, I wasn't overly impressed. I liked parts of it. I felt the male harsh vocals and male clean vocals were far too low in the mix. The female guest vocals were perfectly fine, perfectly high in the mix, and they basically made the song, really. And I've now heard it again since, and of course I've heard it for this review as well, and I've heard it on another reaction channel, AMP Reacts, who did it since mine. Got there first, I think. I don't know. They basically spent all their time complaining about the video. And I have to agree the video wasn't great. In fact, on listening to this externally away from the video and as part, the opening part of the album, it's a hell of a lot better. It's a hell of a lot more enjoyable. It may be because I've heard it about 4 or 5 times, but it also might be because the video detracted a bit. Wasn't the best video in the world. Maybe it did detract. That's still one thing wrong with it. Vocals still are too low in the mix. The chorus is the best part of the song. for the most part, it runs at a frantic pace, and you can feel at times all the instruments battling each other to get first, and that is a theme through some of the songs. The breakdown in it is fairly standard, but as many of their songs on this album do, it builds up into a wonderful melodic epic. I would say overall it's worth listening to for the female guest vocals, but it's a hell of a lot better than I remember it being on my first reaction. It really does hit its best points when it slows down. I say, these guys do things at a high pace in some of their songs, and a lot of the times it does feel a little too frenetic. It does feel like they're all scrambling to be first in some sort of crowded egg and spoon race almost. I don't know what kind of race could it feel? Grand Prix, something like that. You know, but the cars are on top of each other going ah. But when they slow it down, almost every time they slow it down in this album, it just develops into something far superior. So after Shine, which didn't shine as much as I'd like, so that's a bit of a shame. I'll get into shame and how it shines later. It is The Tower. The Tower was the first song I heard by them. It was stunning. It was powerful. That little always computer game electronic keyboard stuff going on in it. It still does, of course. I was blown away by it. This song blasts into its down-tuned guitars and then hits you with its harsh vocals, which are slightly higher in the mix than Shine. And then the rhythm picks up into, again, their now well-known epicness on the cleans. A lot of the songs, you've got the verse with harsh vocals going on and sometimes very frenetic instrumentation, and then it slows down a bit and becomes epic and melodic with clean vocals. And on The Tower, it works stunningly well. Again, I reacted to this one. Again, the link is in the description and at the end of this video to go and see my reaction to it. Basically, I think the best part is the actual gentle breakdown at the 3:50 mark. It's absolutely stunning, and when the heavy, down-tuned, powerful guitars hit back again at the end of that point, it just makes them even more heavy and epic. So, following The Tower, we have Sea of Fear, the first of the songs that I'd never listened to until I started listening to the album. Sea of Fear starts off with ominous bells, followed by a more doomy style of music. But then they go back to the standard growly attack again. And you're like, yeah, I've heard this before. You need to diversify a bit, guys. But then the cleans hit back in the mix again, and they're higher in the mix. And it's far better. So the start of this one, you've got the bells, you've got the ominous thing, you've got then the growl hits. But this time, just like in Shine, really, there's a frantic, powerful, heavy attack that's like scrambling over each other to get into first place. And it's like, you're losing me. There's nothing to latch onto. But then the clean vocals come in again on the chorus, and it slows down, it drags everything back, and suddenly the sky's clear. And it feels more depth to the song. There is a fantastic solo, and the last minute and a half of the song just uplifts the whole thing. It suddenly becomes so much better. All round, it just go like, is it worth listening to those 4 minutes or so that open it up? And then reach this stage, and it's like, yeah, it probably is. It's just a melodic epic at the end. It's transformative. It's incredible. 3 songs in, and you know, you wouldn't kick any of them out of your ears. Next up comes a true prog song, true prog metal song. Some people have regarded them as melodic death metal. Some people say they're progressive metal. Layers of Time is basically a progressive metal song. The whole thing is built on layers of melody and keyboards, and the clean vocals are high up in the mix and they soar above it. It's the keys interweave throughout the song, but at 2 minutes 50 the style changes to a very, very heavy harshness again, but this time the guitars, they come out but then they get pulled back in a bit again, and the melody layers over the top of them again. And at the 4 minute plus mark, you get much more piano interweaving with the guitars. In fact, so much so that you get a keyboard solo in there. It's getting very sunny all of a sudden. Very sunny. So, I would say that is their most progressive, traditional progressive metal song. This is then followed up by the title track, Future Diary. It's one of the shorter tracks. It has a heavy start. It has some off-kilter soloing going on at the start. The harsh vocals are actually higher in the mix again. It's really weird that some of the songs, their vocals are muddied out. You can't hear them very well. It's like, and other ones, they are high up. I don't know if they did this in a couple of different recording studios or with different producers or at different times. That's the way it seems almost. One half of the album, they're a little lower in the mix, and the other half, they're a bit higher in the mix. But again, their standard system of the clean vocals hitting with the chorus, making the chorus epic, is there again. And at the start of the song, you're going like, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. This could be one that, even though it's a title track, this could be one that they wouldn't have needed in this album. And then by the end of it, yet again, it improves by the end, lifts everything up, and you go like, no, this belongs on this album. This is a really decent song. So, saying that, now gone dark again. Can't make his mind up. Wrathful Beast. Wrathful Beast. Is this the weakest song on the album? I felt that at the start. Maybe it suffers for being basically slap bang in the middle of the album and not really having anything outstanding at the start of it, making you go, ooh, ooh. There's nothing really there. It's a standard sort of style of song. But after 3 minutes, it warms up again. And it becomes much more than it was before. So it's like, because, you like to say, well, they could do with cutting out 1 or 2 tracks maybe to make it even tighter and even better. But so far, not really, because each song improves. Of course, so far there are 2 or 3 songs I would listen to over and over again, and 2 or 3 songs, because they don't hit straight away, or hit hard, hit me the way they should do, I'd probably skip over them. So, it's hard to say where I stand on those sort of things. Whether there should be anything that should be removed at all, because so far, all those ones where I'm going like, start, they're not bad starts, they're just like, it's ordinary. It's ordinary, they don't really stand out, and then it suddenly goes, whoop. They've got a very good way of structuring the songs, but they need a bit more variety in their starts, I think, to really hit things home. But of course, would that then mean that the end parts would be less epic and less like, let's pull you in? It's like balancing, isn't it? So, on to my favourite song, which it's linked to in the description. It's on the same video as it was Shine. Shame. Shame really shines. See what I did there? Playing words? Yeah? Okay. This is, they called it their slower song. It's excellent. It's mainly clean vocals, but there are still harsh vocals in it. And they work. There's female vocals in it. and they work. It's basically an epic power. It's not a ballad really, but it is gentle. This is a gentle song. His vocals are much more to the fore, the clean vocals. His accent is interesting on clean vocals in English, and I was thinking at the time, who does it remind me of? Who does it remind me of? And I finally, this slow old brain of mine finally went, you know what? It has a similar cadence to IQ. One or two of the songs in an IQ album I've listened to sound very similar style to that. So, you know, I don't know if they've ever listened to IQ in their life, but it was a recent album from a couple of years ago, and one or two of the songs actually sound similar vocally to his style. So I was pretty interested in that. So we'll leave Shame now, because click on the link, have a listen to it with me, because it is superb, superb. So now we come to like Empty Opening, which is the shortest song. The opening of that song is very different to anything else on the album. It almost has a new wave, new romantic sort of vibe to it. As in, I don't mean like Duran Duran, I mean more like a Depeche Mode or Gary Newman style electronica sort of opening to it. And it then hits with sort of jerky guitar style and female vocals coming into it. So there's an interesting mix of different elements within this song. It's a lot slower than some of the other, you know, it goes at a pace, but it's a lot slower than some of the other frenetic stuff, and it works really well. And this is one of those songs, I came to the end of it, and I said, oh, that needed to be longer. That should have been longer. Most of their songs, I would say the average length of the song is around 6 minutes. This was the shortest at about 4 minutes 37, I think. Yep, 4 minutes 37. But there's one track that's like over 9 minutes long. This was the most interesting. Shame is the most spectacular. Empty Opening, I think it's Empty Opening. My writing is garbage. Is the most interesting. The Tower is the most powerful. But we haven't finished yet. We still have 2 songs to go. The next song up, Alone in the Dark, which kicks off with a dark piano, and then throws in a bit of orchestration, and then goes for its usual growl attack. But then at some stage, it starts changing up. It throws in a few jazzy keyboards, which I was like, oh no. They went a little bit Opeth-y in that sense. Don't really like it when Opeth go jazz. I don't really like it when anybody goes jazz. But if it's only for a very short moment, that's fine. And this is a very short moment. Basically, this is another of their songs that mixes things up a bit. Goes to the usual growly choruses, growly verses, and clean, epic, melodic choruses. It then hits a slower, classy bridge at about 3 minutes before hammering things back on. But then it just feels really classy as it goes on. From the 3 minute mark, I would say, which is effectively about halfway, it's like awesome. So it's one of those things that I've found over the years with songs. You can get songs where you're like, it's alright, or it's like, I'm not sure, and then halfway or 3/4 of the way, they hit a sound that makes you just go like, oh God, that is stunning. And then, but to get to that point, you need to get through the first part. And it's like, could you hear that point without hearing the first part? Would that point have the same impact? I remember there's a song by UFO called This Kid's featuring Between the Walls. So it's like a adjunct instrumental at the end of a song called This Kid's. This Kid's is a good solid rocker with a wonderful guitar solo by Michael Schenker in it. but it is superfluous in many ways. It's one of those songs that, if it wasn't the end of the album, you'd skip over it to another song, really. But the Between the Walls bit at the end of that song is just so damn good that I have to listen to this, kids, before it. Just to make that part. Just to listen to that part. That part without the first part, maybe not so good. And finally, before I keep on dribbling away and you go like, what's he going on about now? The final song, The Interior Castle. This is their epic 9-minute song, and for me, is a bit of a disappointment. It starts with a piano intro. It has a similar atmosphere to Alone in the Dark, although it goes into a much more doomy feel. But for the first, after that little bit, for the next few minutes up to about the 5-minute mark, it's a bit, I feel myself drifting a little bit. It didn't really hook me in. But then at the 5-minute mark, we get keyboard solo, get guitar solo, and we even get a little bit of acoustic, almost flamenco style. Not quite flamenco, but it is a bit of a acoustic moment going on within it around the 6-minute mark. And it just builds up from there. Suddenly, it went from a song that I was like, well, this is 9 minutes long. It's not grabbing me, to something that really did pull me in. And ended in a wonderful, huge, epic note. So, that's where I stand with Future Diary. They have their system. Every band needs one. They hit you hard most of the time in the start at the front parts of their songs, and then at a certain stage they go into the epic melodies. Several of the songs you start off feeling like, not for me, I can skip this one, it's not for me. And then by the end of the song you're going like, it's so good, it's so damn good. Maybe they could change it up a little bit from doing that, or maybe it's a clever way of making people listen to the whole of their songs. But you can see some people going to one of their songs, 2 minutes, 3 minutes in and going like, it's never going anywhere, skip, next song please. Some people, not everybody, but it happened with some people. If I wasn't doing a review on this, there's a couple of songs along here that I was going, if I was just listening to it for pleasure, I'd probably have skipped 1 or 2 of them. Sorry, I might have done, because they weren't grabbing me. So it shows you, listen to the whole thing, because sometimes things come along that just slap you in the face and make you go, wow. And this is what the Fireproven Future Diary has done. Several of the songs in there grab me, and I will listen to this quite a lot. Hopefully you've taken a little something away from this video, and you can see the links now, because I'm going to stop about now, or they might come in a few seconds if I don't stop now. They're only coming up for about the last 20 seconds. Click those links, check out my reactions, and you can see why I'm going like woo about this album. They're also below. So hope you enjoyed this. If there's any albums you want me to review in this sort of style, or if you want me to review an album by listening to it straight off the cuff, might do that. If you want me to review anything else that I'll probably never have reviewed otherwise, let me know in the comments, and hope you liked it. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I'll see you for another one.